How do you know when you're talking to the right agent? Somebody who can really help you, has your best interest at heart as opposed to their own. Well, there's a few clues that'll tip you off, and I'm going to talk about these. This is Bob Vineyard, your Medicare expert with the Georgia Medicare Minute. All right, one of the things that a lot of seniors complain about is, well, I get all these phone calls from people and I didn't want to talk to them. And, well, a lot of those situations, they're probably calls that are they're not legal. They're not following the Medicare rules for direct solicitation. But beyond that, how do you know you're not talking to somebody that you need to be talking to? If they won't give you any information, I know you've got questions, because if you're new to Medicare, you've got plenty of questions. But if they won't give you any information by phone, or promise to mail it to you, email it to you, or even stick it in an envelope and send it to you, if they only want to either push you to buy something right now, or they say, well, I'll be over at your house, or we have an agent be in your neighborhood, and they'll answer all your questions. That is a big, big, big red flag. If they won't give you information by phone, if they won't send it to you, if they have to come to your door, then you need to watch out for that. I mean, that's one of those things that I tell people, they're not going to leave until you either buy something, call the police, or throw them out. So that's one of those things you got to be careful about. The other thing is, even if you do engage them in conversation, whether it's on the phone or it's in person, if they don't ask about your medical history, what's going on with you right now, and are there some concerns that you have? Are there providers that you're seeing, doctors that you're seeing that you want to keep seeing? If they don't ask you about stuff like that, you're talking to the wrong person, because they basically have already decided this is what they're going to sell you, because it's going to put the most money in their pocket and really may leave you in a lurch. So if they don't ask questions about your medical history and your providers and your prescription drugs, walk away or send them on their way. Just don't even deal with them, because again, they're not listening to you. They're not answering your questions. And one other thing to consider, if when you are talking to them and they say, okay, well, I've got just the product for you, and they start talking about, one of these plans, and then they say, oh, by the way, you might want to buy a cancer plan because cancer can be expensive. You probably want to buy a hospital indemnity plan, to fill in those holes so that you don't have to come out of pocket. If you have a good Medicare plan, you don't need a bunch of add-on stuff. The reason why they want to add these other things on is so they can pad their compensation, sometimes by several $100s, by selling you something that you don't need, you don't want, and can't afford. That's your lesson for the day. This is Bob Vineyard, your Medicare expert with the Georgia Medicare Minute. You take care. Have a great day.